Hi everyone, it is Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have a reformer workout for you that is going to be geared towards runners. Now anyone can do this workout, but it is going to be a great workout for runners. We are going to work a lot on leg strengthening, core strengthening, then we'll do a lot of hip mobility exercises and we'll do some ankle mobility exercises. And that is really going to be our focus. So lower body and core for runners. We are gonna go ahead and get started on footwork springs today. And since we're gonna go a little leg heavy today, I'm gonna go heavier with my springs. So I have 3 heavies and a medium spring on. You can go heavier than that, you can go lighter than that. It is really up to you. And then once you choose your footwork springs, foot bars can start at the starting position. If you want your headrest up, they can be up or down. We're gonna lie ourselves down onto our reformers. And then once we get down onto our reformers, we're gonna take our heels onto the foot bar to begin, parallel with each other, sits bone distance away, so just about that fist distance away with our heels. And then we're finding our neutral spine. So I'm just making sure that my sacrum is heavy. If I look up, my pelvis is lying flat. So I would be able to balance like a cup of tea, a bowl of soup on my hips without it spilling. Shoulders are anchored down. I should be looking straight up to the ceiling, so notice if you do nod kind of right or left, we're looking straight up. We're going to inhale to push our carriages all the way out with our heels, and then we're gonna exhale, bend to come back in. And when I first push out, I always just like look at my feet, make sure that they're in the right position on the foot bar, and then we can exhale to come back in. So again, we're inhaling to push, and we're exhaling to pull. Legs work to push out on our inhale, and then we are engaging our core on our exhales when we come back in. Inhale, push, exhale, pull. Let's do 3, 2, last one. Okay, we're gonna bring it halfway in. We're gonna pause at this halfway point. Keep our pelvises nice and still. I'm gonna push all the way out, and I'm gonna come halfway in, all the way out, and halfway in. Again, sacrum just stays nice and steady. Dig your heels in to the foot bars. All the way out, halfway in. 3, 2, and 1. And then once we bring it back in, we're gonna pause with our carriages all the way in. Okay, we're gonna go arches of our feet onto the foot bar. They're staying that same distance away from each other. Again, we'll inhale to push our carriages out today, and then we'll exhale as we come back in. Push and pull. Knees and feet are staying parallel with each other. Again, inhale away, exhale as we come back in. Legs push. Think engaging your core as you pull your carriages in. So that 2 inches underneath your belly button draws in to help pull you back. Let's do 3, 2, last one. Now we're gonna pause again all the way out. Halfway pulses, so we're gonna go halfway in, all the way out, halfway in, all the way out. Control these halfway pulses. Again, think sacrum is heavy, pelvis just stays nice and still. Halfway in, all the way out for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then all the way back in. Okay, then we're gonna go toes, balls of our feet onto the foot bar. This is when we're gonna work that ankle mobility. All 10 toes should be on. We're gonna push our carriages out one time. We're gonna hold ourselves up here. Now, nice high heels on the foot bar, and then we are going to lower our heels under the foot bar with control. Then we will lift them up with control. So I like to think it's like a 2 count to lower the heels, and then it's a 2 count to lift the heels. So we lower with control, 2 count, we lift with control, and we want the backs of the legs into our glutes firing as we lift. Nice high heels. You should still be evenly weighted throughout all 10 toes, so we don't have any pronation or supination where we roll in or out. Keep going. Flex, point, flex, point. Let's go 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then bend, come all the way back in. We are gonna keep our toes on the foot bars. We're gonna push our carriages all the way out. We're gonna hold. Then we're gonna go into our run. So we're gonna bend one knee, lower the opposite heel, and then we are going to switch. Now you can take these runs at your own pace, but I really want you to focus on a really high heel while also keeping your pelvises still. So I'm taking my hands onto my hips and I'm just making sure they don't like swish side to side. You are working the articulation of your foot as you switch. High on those toes, low on the heel. Okay, then we're gonna keep one heel lowered, one knee bent. It doesn't matter which one's lower, just stretch out the back of one leg. And then we're gonna switch. Okay, then we'll lift the heels up, bend our knees, we'll bring our carriages all the way back in, and then once we come back in, we can just sit off to the sides. Okay, once we sit ourselves off to the sides, we're gonna go on to a heavy and a light spring. So one heavy, one light, and then we will just keep our foot bars right here, all the way at the starting position. We can lie ourselves down. Headrest can stay up or down, that is up to you. And then once we get down, I'm gonna reach behind me and grab my short loops into my hands, moving into a core series. Arms are going straight up to the ceiling. Hands are right over my shoulders. Again, we're in our neutral spines as always. Our knees are going up into a tabletop position. My legs are zipped together, so I'm working towards that center line. And then we're going into ab curl. So on an exhale, I'm gonna press and curl myself up into my abdominal curl. I'm inhaling to return back down with control. So at the same time, as you press your arms down, you bring your chin to your chest, you curl up. At the same time that your arms go down, your shoulders and head should go down together. So I think it's one nice motion to come up with the arms, shoulders, head, and then it's one nice motion to come back down. Exhale, curl. Inhaling as we return, we should really feel that rectus abdominis, so superficial core muscles. Now I want to think every time I come up, I'm drawing my abs in to my back. They're not pushing outward. So we want to think scoop in to curl up and return. We're going to do 2 more like that. And then last one, exhale, curl. And inhale, return. Now pause at the bottom. Make sure that those knees stay up into your tabletop position. Arms are staying straight up to the ceiling. We're gonna curl ourselves back up into an abdominal curl and we're gonna hold ourselves here. I'm gonna inhale, reach my right leg either over or under the foot bar, it really doesn't matter. Exhale, pull it back in. Left leg either over or under, and then exhale, pull back in. Now obviously if you go over, it's a little easier for your core. If you go under, it's a little more challenging for your core. Inhale out, exhale, think engaging your obliques to pull each leg back in, out, and in. Let's do one more right, one more left. If the necks are an issue, heads can go down. Okay, now when that left leg comes in, I want you to pause with both legs in. Try to hold your curls. Keep your arms and wrists nice and long. We're gonna inhale, reach both legs out to a challenging level. We're drawing our abs in towards our backs as we pull back in. We inhale to reach both legs away. Scoop into your low abs. Make sure that you're holding your neutral spines, again, either over or under those foot bars. All in your low abs, not in your low back. If you're in your low back, higher with the legs. Inhale out, exhale back in. Let's do 2 more. Make sure that those arms, wrists stay long. Last one. Then arms up, heads down, relax your feet. And as always, we can just give ourselves a little stretch. Now, the last thing that we're gonna do will be single leg stretch and double leg stretch. So we will be back up into your curls. Again, if the necks are an issue, heads can always go down at any point. Arms are reaching up to the ceiling, knees back up into our tabletop position, legs are zipped together. One curl. I'm gonna press, curl up, pause. Again, either over or under with the legs. As I open my arms out to a T, my right leg reaches out. As I press my palms to my hips and pulling back in, left leg as I open, exhale to pull back in, inhale out. Exhaling as we come back in. Feel those lats, feel those biceps, really feel your core engaging. 3, 2, last one. Arms up, heads down. Ooh, relax the feet. Give it a little stretch. And then the last thing that we're gonna do will be double leg stretch. So it's both legs out and in. Again, either over or under the foot bars. Arms are up to the ceiling, knees are up into our tabletop position. Keep them zipped together. One curl, press, curl up, pause. As we open the arms, both legs extend out. We exhale to pull back in. Make sure you are holding your neutral spine the entire time. Bra lines stay heavy, sacrums stay down. 3, 2, last one. Arms up, heads down. Ooh, relax the feet. Give a little stretch, and then we are going to hang our straps up onto the pegs. Okay, we're gonna sit off to the side. We are gonna grab our box, but before you grab your box, go to a medium spring, take everything else off. So just that single medium. I'm gonna grab my short box. It's going to go on in front of my shoulder blocks. Now, we're gonna keep going with some core work, then we're gonna go back into legs, then we're gonna do a nice hip flexor quad psoas stretch. We're gonna stand on our carriages in front of our box. Again, make sure that your box is in front of your shoulder blocks. Hands are gonna go onto our foot bars. And then again, we're gonna start with some core work. Thumbs are with our fingers when our hands are here. I'm gonna step my right foot onto the very edge of my box. I'm gonna hold. Step my left foot onto the very edge, hold. So we're up pretty high. And then toes are over the edge. I'm gonna push my legs all the way out and I'm gonna hold myself here. Now, if you don't feel comfortable this high, obviously you can go toes to the edge of the carriage if you don't want to be up as high as the box. Okay, find a plank. We're going to do pikes. I'm going to tuck my pelvis, hike my hips, scoop into my abs, try to bring the carriage as close to the stopper as I can. I'm inhaling then to push all the way out. Exhale, tuck, pike, inhale out. So I'm scooping into my core to lift my hips. Inhale to push. Make sure when you push out, you're in a plank, you're not overarching or like collapsing into your low back. So that core is always active. 3, 2, last one, pike, and out. Okay, we can step down onto the carriage if you're not already there. Go ahead, give your wrists a little roll, give your shoulders a little roll, and then we're gonna work into some single leg pikes next. Again, on the box, if you don't feel comfortable, you can just stay down onto the carriage here with the toes curled over the edge. So hands are on. I'm gonna go ahead, again, take my right foot onto the edge of the box. Then I'm gonna take my left foot up, I'm gonna push out, and I'm gonna pause. Okay, hold a plank. I'm gonna take my right foot off the box and down to the floor. Now I'm not actually touching the floor with my leg because I wanna keep my hips parallel. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis, hike my hips, try to keep my hips parallel with each other when I lift. And then I'm gonna push the carriage back out with my left leg and I'm gonna imagine I'm tapping my right toes to the floor. Exhale, tuck, pike. Inhale back down. Now, if you want to tap the box with your right toes, you can tap the box with your right toes. You should feel this in your core, but you should also feel it in your left leg. Exhale, pike. Inhale back. Let's do 4, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm gonna set my right foot on the carriage, set my left foot down. Feel free to give yourselves, again, a little stretch. You can roll your wrists, you can roll your shoulders, whatever feels best. We're gonna do the same thing on the right leg. Again, the idea is that the pelvis doesn't shift to the left side when we do this. It's gonna stay, they're gonna stay level or like parallel towards the floor. So I'm gonna go right foot on, pause, left foot on, push out, hold. Okay, right leg now stays, left leg goes down. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis, hike my hips. Again, if you wanna tap the box with your left leg, you can, and then you're going back down. And most likely, you are not tapping the floor unless you have a reformer that's a little lower to the floor if you have longer legs. Now I have really long legs and I cannot get to the floor. I'm just like barely touching it. Inhale out, exhale back. If I touch the floor, that just means that my pelvis isn't gonna be level. Oh my gosh. Okay, 4, scoop lift, 3, 2, 1, and step it down. Okay, feel free to sit on your boxes. That was a little more work than I thought it was gonna be. Now, we're gonna go into some legs next. We're doing squats on our box. Then after our squats, we will go into planks, but planks will actually be our break in between our squats. So I'm gonna take my hands back onto my foot bar, thumbs are with my fingers, roll out your wrists if you need to. You're gonna lift your heels high up onto the box. The toes are still onto the carriage. My chest is over the foot bar. I'm gonna push out first into a plank and I'm just gonna hold my plank. Okay, tuck your pelvis, hike your hips, come in. Bring your carriages all the way home. This is where we're gonna go into our squats. I'm gonna bend my knees, lift my chest, and if you can, take your hands off the foot bar. Think scoop into your abs, hold a neutral spine in this squat. Hold, hold, hold. Your chest should be lifted up, not down and parallel to the floor. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Take your hands back on the foot bar. Push your carriages all the way out. Pause with your legs nice and long. Tuck your pelvis. Hike your hips to come in. Bend your knees. Sink into a squat. Lift your chest. Hold yourselves here. Abs are in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands are on the foot bar. Push those carriages away. Hold your plank. Abs are in. Tuck your pelvis. Hike your hips, bring it back in. Again, bend those knees. Sink into that squat. Lift that chest. Hold. Abs into your backs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands on the foot bar. Ooh, push those carriages out. I'm really feeling my quads. Don't worry, we are gonna do a hamstring series. Tuck the pelvis, hike the hips. Ready? Bend the knees. Sink down, hold, abs are in. 3, 2, 1. Okay, last set. Push the carriage out, hold your planks. 3, 2, 1. Tuck, pike, bend the knees, sink into a squat. Now, I'm gonna count down from 8. On 8, I want your butts on the box. So ready? Lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Okay. Unfortunately, we are gonna do one more quad exercise and then we're gonna do hamstrings after that. So the box is gonna stay here. If this doesn't work, because we will do single legs, if this doesn't work for knees or even your quads, go both legs rather than singles. We're gonna stay on this same spring. I'm gonna kneel on my carriage facing my box. And then once I kneel, my forearms are gonna go down onto the box. My toes, balls of my feet are either gonna go into the wooden platform, which is lower. Technically, it's a little easier. Or you can go with your toes on the foot bar, which is higher. If you do go toes on the foot bar, I would prefer you to start with one foot on, push out, and then take the other foot on. And you can do it here. I'm personally gonna do it on my wooden platform just because my quads are really feeling it today. Okay, so forearms down, I'm gonna push my carriage out and I'm gonna hold here. Now, again, if this doesn't work for you, keep both feet down. We're gonna keep the right foot here, extend your left leg over the foot bar. Left leg needs to stay long. We're gonna bend your right knee, try to touch the box, extend, bend your right knee, try to touch the box, extend. Left leg stays long. Your hips are parallel to the floor. Keep those booties down, abs are in. I'm gonna do 2 more. Oh my gosh, my right leg, last one. Okay, then when I push out, I'm gonna take my left foot on, extend my right leg over the foot bar, hips parallel to the floor. Bend to the left and exhale, press. Again, keep your butt down, keep your abs in, right leg stays long. You're just bending the left and extending the left. 3, 2, 1, and in and down. Okay, stretching first, and then after our stretch, we're into hamstrings. So knees are gonna stay down onto the carriage. Hands can either go onto the box or forearms can go onto the box, it's up to you. Right foot is on the wooden platform. I'm gonna push my right leg out, drop my hip down, and then again, you can either be here with your hands into more of an extension or here onto your forearms with less extension. Again, I want you to push your right hip down and find as much length in the front of your right leg. Now, you can flex your right foot, you can point your toes, it's up to you. I get a deeper stretch if I flex, so I'm gonna keep my foot flexed. If you're lifted, make sure that your shoulders stay down out of your ears. Okay, bring it all the way back in. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And I always know it's a good workout when my heart rate is up and I'm struggling to catch my breath while I'm talking here. Again, the left foot should be down, flex or point. It can be on your hands or your forearms. You are pushing your left hip down, trying to open up quads, hip flexors, psoas. You might get a nice stretch in your obliques as well. Obviously, if you're in your extension, you get a little stretch in your core. Okay, lift that hip, bring the carriage all the way back in. And then once we come back in, we are gonna stay on this medium spring. I'm gonna take my box off, moving into hamstrings. I'm gonna take my foot onto my carriage, push out, and on my short box is gonna go onto the frame of my reformer. It's up against my foot bar, so it's not gonna move, and it's off of my carriage, so my carriage can move freely without my box. We're gonna sit on the carriages with our back to the box. I'm gonna take my feet in my headrest to start, and then I'm gonna line up my bra line here with the edge of the box. When I get my bra line on, I'm gonna bring my shoulders and head down. I'm gonna lift my hips up. Now, your head and your shoulders should be fully supported. So if you do need to scoot a little further forward, you can. Then from this position, we're gonna take our heels / like arches of your feet onto the shoulder blocks, and we're lifted up into a bridge. I'm thinking I'm not overextending in my back here. I'm tucking my pelvis just like a normal bridge. You can either have the hands behind your head or you can go up to the ceiling. I'm gonna go behind my head just to open up my chest a little bit here. Okay, we're gonna exhale, push our legs out. Inhale, resist back in. Exhale, push, inhale back. Adjust your feet as needed. Make sure that your hips stay lifted. And when your feet are on the shoulder blocks, notice, are you evenly weighted or are you rolling to the outsides of your feet? Are you rolling to the insides? No, we are evenly weighted, pushing, resisting, push, resist. Squeeze your butts. Glutes and hamstrings. Exhale away, inhale back. Okay, we'll do 3, 2, and 1. Now, once we come back in, we're gonna pause in. We're gonna do like our semicircle here. So from this position, I'm going to start at more of like my bra line on the box. I'm gonna roll my butt down so my butt is dropped. I'm extended in my back. We're gonna push our legs out, pause, lift our hips up, bend our knees to come back in, so our butt should be lifted. Start again around your bra line. Think roll your spine down towards the carriage, push your legs out, lift your hips up, bend your knees to come back in. We're gonna keep going with that nice little semicircle. And you can breathe for these, just whatever comes more naturally to you. Try not to bump your carriage into the box like I just did. Soft click. Okay, last one in that direction. Then when we come in, we're gonna pause. Now our butts stay lifted. We're gonna push our legs out. We're gonna lower our butts down. We're gonna bend our knees to come in, and then start at your tailbone, start at your butt, and then from there, roll your spine back up into a bridge. So push out. Again, we can just drop the butt down, bend the knees to come in, try to roll your spine up. Push, booty goes down, bend, roll up. Keep going. We'll do a few more. All right, last one. Okay, then take your feet into your headrest, set your butts down, and then we're gonna go ahead and sit ourselves up. Now, we're gonna rotate towards the box. Once we rotate to the box, my butt is gonna be like up against my shoulder blocks here. We're just gonna do a quick stretch. Legs are gonna go onto the top of the box. You can flex your feet if you'd like, you go to deeper stretch. We're gonna go fingers to toes, and then just hold this hamstring stretch. Obviously, if you can't get your fingers to your toes, take your hands onto the box, take your hands onto your shins, wherever. Okay, now from here, toes are gonna go into the edge of the box. You're gonna push out flat foot, and then you're gonna reach your hands to the box here. I actually have my strap right here, so I'm gonna hold onto my strap and pull. If you don't have your strap, you can hold onto the outside frame of the carriage and pull. Head heavy, chest heavy. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead, bring our carriages all the way back in. Now we can just stay on this same spring. We're gonna end up kneeling on our carriages facing our box. When we kneel, I'm gonna go ahead and just take my forearms down onto my box here, and then my feet are gonna be just right up against my shoulder blocks. This isn't gonna be super light. It's gonna be more towards, we're on a medium string, so more towards like a medium setting. I want us to feel our core and our legs working with this spring setting. So just know it's not super duper light. So forearms are down, I'm gonna lift my knees up, I'm gonna hold, I'm gonna stretch my legs out, and I'm gonna hold. Then from here, very carefully, I'm gonna bend my knees so my carriage is gonna tap in, and I'm gonna exhale, push out. Bend my knees so my carriage taps, exhale out. So again, I want the legs and the core working. Inhale and exhale. Abs should be in to our backs. Bend, stretch, bend, stretch. Let's go ahead and do 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend. Come down onto your knees, and then just feel free to give yourself a little bit of a stretch on the box here. Okay, we're gonna step off to the side. When you take your box off, I would take one foot onto the carriage, and then carefully take your box off, let your carriage come in carefully with your foot. And then we are just gonna set the boxes back, to their homes. Okay, so once we get our boxes back, again, I'm gonna go a little heavier with legs today. We're gonna do single leg feet and straps. I'm gonna keep my medium spring on and do a heavy with that. Now, that is very heavy for single legs. Usually, I would have you on one heavy, one light. If you wanna go one heavy, one light, do that. If you wanna go heavier with me, go a heavy and a medium spring. You can always change your springs if you need to. We're gonna lie ourselves down. Headrest can be up or down. That is up to you. If by chance, which I don't really think I've ever said this, but if you lie down and your headrest is down and you're looking back behind you, then your headrest needs to go up. So your eyes should be looking straight up to the ceiling, not behind you. I'm gonna grab my right strap. The long loop goes onto the arch of my right foot. My right leg is gonna go up just as high as I can hold my neutral spine. And then I'm gonna bring my left knee up into a tabletop position. Okay, single legs. I'm gonna exhale, pull my right leg straight down towards my springs. My bra line stays heavy. I hinge at my hip to come back up. My sacrum stays heavy, so my butt stays down. Exhale to pull, and then inhale, hinge. Now, if you would like to feel a little more work in your glutes and your hamstrings, if you bend your right knee slightly, it does not have to be a big bend. I prefer you to do like a micro bend. If you bend your right knee slightly, you'll get a little more into your glutes and hamstrings. Exhale to pull, inhale, hinging back up. Pelvis stays nice and still. Okay, I'm gonna go for 3. And then last one. Now when I come down, I'm gonna hold my leg down, single leg squats. I'm bending my knee in. The strap should be right on top of your shin. That means you're staying in line. You're gonna push out, and I like to pull my heel down to my springs. I can get into my glute a little more. Bend into your 90, push out, and pull slightly down. Again, the strap should be on top of your shin the entire time. You are staying in the correct alignment when you're doing that. Inhale, exhale. Again, try to keep your pelvis still. Hold your neutral spine. Squeeze your butt when you push. Okay, let's do 3, 2, 1. Now bend to come in, external rotation. So heels are together, toes are turned apart. So we're in our frog. Just the right leg is going to push out for single leg frogs. Just the right leg comes in, that left leg stays in external rotation. And I like to keep my hands on my pelvis, kind of palpate, see what's going on. Again, I'm trying to keep my pelvis in the same position the entire time. And then hopefully we can feel our adductors working a little more with this external rotation. Inhale in and exhale out. Two more. And then last one. Okay, and then once I come in, I'm gonna pause in, and then we are gonna go ahead. You can just give your strap a quick little pull. We will finish off with a stretch with our straps on both feet. So I am gonna take this off. Don't worry, we will stretch later. And then I'm gonna grab my left strap, and it's gonna go onto the arch of my left foot. My leg, again, is up just as high as I can hold my neutral spine. And then my right knee goes up into my tabletop position. I'm gonna pull my leg straight down, and I'm hinging to go straight back up. Again, if you want a little extra work in your glutes and your hamstrings, find a micro bend to your knee. Then look at your toes. Make sure that they're always pointed straight up. They're not pointed out to the sides. They're not pointed in. Straight. Exhale down. Inhale up. Again, you can palpate your pelvis. Just make sure that it's staying nice and steady. Every exhale, I'm engaging my core. That's going to help with your pelvic stability. 3 more. And then last one. Okay, now that leg is gonna stay down, single leg squats. I'm gonna bend my left knee and I'm gonna exhale to push. Inhale in, and then exhaling as we press, 90, and push. Again, when the strap is staying like right on top of your shin, that's a good indicator that you're staying in the correct alignment. Okay, last one. And then when we come in, external rotation, single leg frogs. I'm gonna exhale to push out. Inhale in, exhale away, and inhale back. And again, hopefully we can get into those adductors, those inner thighs, a little more with that external rotation. This one should be the most challenging to keep your pelvises still. So again, I still have my hands on my hips, just for like a little reference. Two more. And then last one. Okay, and then when I push out, I'm gonna just let my leg go up towards the ceiling, pull quick, and then we're gonna take the strap off of our foot and hang it back up. Now, once we hang it up, we're gonna quick sit ourselves off to the sides. We're gonna change to 2 heavy springs. Last thing that we're going to do will be leg circles, and then we're gonna stretch out our legs. So 2 heavies, lie down. Again, headrest can be up or down, that is up to you. I'm reaching behind me, grabbing my long loops, and they're gonna go onto my feet. Okay, now once I get both straps on, my legs are going to go up as high as I can hold my neutral spine. Feet are parallel with each other. I'm exhaling to lower my legs straight down, and then I'm gonna inhale, inner thighs, so circle around and back up. Exhale, lower, inhaling as I circle around and back up. Just like before, sacrum heavy, pelvis nice and still. So that movement comes right from the head of the femur in that hip socket, working on that hip mobility. Let's do 2 more. And then last one. When we come up, we're gonna pause at the top, and then we're gonna reverse. We're gonna open our legs wide, press them down and around, zip them together. We're hinging at our hips to come all the way back up. I'm using my inner thighs to zip my legs back together. Okay, let's do 3 more. Last one. Okay, now once we come back up, we're gonna pause. Honestly, this is one of my favorite stretches, and I think this is one of the best things to do for runners here with feet and straps. Your low back's gonna be flat down into the mat, so I don't have a neutral spine. I'm going to very carefully bend my right knee, and my foot goes down towards the floor. The strap should adjust itself so it's on the front of your foot, not the back of your foot. And then you can allow your left leg to open out to side, all over stretch. Now I like to get deeper into my right leg, so I'm gonna grab my strap and pull, and then I'm gonna grab my left strap and pull, and just relax and stretch. So it should be the front of your right leg, and then the back and the inside of your left. Hold. Okay, to switch, the left leg has to go up first, then the right leg is gonna carefully come up. Then we're gonna do the same thing on the left. You're bending your left knee. The strap should adjust so it's on the front of your foot. I'm going to let my right leg open. Ooh. If you want a deeper stretch, you can pull both straps. So again, it should be the front of the left leg, the back of the right. Surrender into the stretch. Do not worry about what your pelvis is doing right now. Okay, then the right leg goes up first, then your left leg can come up. If you want to give your ropes just a quick little tug, you can. Ooh, okay, then I'm gonna take my straps off of my feet, hang them back up onto the pegs. We can sit ourselves off to the sides. We are all finished with that workout. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me today.